2010, staff at the Elegant Hotel in Beaumont, Texas, made a routine call. One of their long-term guests had failed to check out. The man's name was Greg Flanagan, a 55-year-old oil field worker, quiet, reliable, always paid on time. When a bellhop opened the door to room 348, they found Greg lying still on the bed. At first glance, it looked like a simple case of natural causes, but nothing about what happened that night was simple, and the truth would shock everyone. Greg lived a modest life. He spent weeks away from home, working in the oil fields, then returned to his wife Susie in Lafayette, Louisiana. He didn't drink much, didn't party, didn't make trouble. On the night of his death, Greg ordered some candy, a soda, and a movie on pay-per-view. It seemed like an ordinary night in a lonely hotel room. But when investigators entered, they noticed something odd. His body showed no signs of struggle, no blood, no bruises, just a man who looked asleep. The room was neat, untouched. His wallet and belongings were still there. Nothing stolen. The medical examiner's first assumption? A heart attack. But Greg hadn't died from a heart attack. The autopsy revealed something chilling: a severe internal injury. His scrotum was swollen and bruised. His insides told a violent story: massive internal bleeding, a lacerated scrotum, and tissue damage as if he had been struck by tremendous force. Yet his skin bore no wounds. Doctors were baffled. Beaumont police were stumped. How could a man suffer fatal internal trauma without any external marks? Was it a freak accident or something darker? Detectives dug deeper. They retraced Greg's final night. Witnesses remembered loud thuds in the room next door, room 349. A group of out-of-town oil workers had been drinking, playing around, getting rowdy. When police questioned them, the men laughed it off. Just harmless horseplay, they said. Nothing to do with Greg. But forensic experts came to a startling conclusion. Greg had been struck by an electric shockwave, a flash of heat and force strong enough to tear him apart from the inside. How could that happen in a hotel room? The truth was stranger than anyone could have imagined. One of the men in room 349 had been showing off a small handgun, a .45 caliber pistol. They were drinking, joking, playing with it recklessly. At some point, the gun went off. The bullet tore through the thin wall separating the two rooms. On the other side, Greg Flanagan was sitting on his bed, snacking on candy, watching his movie. He never heard it coming. The bullet pierced his scrotum, traveled upward, and destroyed him internally before stopping near his heart. That's why there was no obvious wound. The bullet entered so low and concealed, it went unnoticed at first. Greg never stood a chance. In the end, investigators traced the shot to one of the oil workers, who eventually confessed. What they called horseplay had taken an innocent man's life. Greg Flanagan's death wasn't the result of a crime of passion or a calculated murder. It was stupidity, carelessness, and a single bullet fired through a hotel wall. Room 348 remains a haunting reminder that sometimes death arrives when you least expect it.